Hey, my handsome ladies and gentlemen, this is Shmeaty. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new. Today we're going to be taking a look at some battles from friend of the channel, perhaps Potato, as he shows us his Great League team featuring Toxapex, the nerfed Greedent. I'm not even going to debate if it's a nerf or not. Body Slam, trash move. Mud Shot, not good move. And GUZZLES. Anyway, we're going to be taking a look at this team today. I've been sitting on this submission for a while. I promise you, Potato, I have not forgotten about this submission. It's just that they rotated Great League out of rotation for 2 straight weeks. Absolutely abysmal work, and I had to keep up the bad work. But with all that being said, if you find enjoyment in today's video, don't forget to leave it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Without keeping you too much longer, let's get into game 1. As is tradition, we're going to be kicking things off with game number 1, leading Toxapex into an Arctibax. Arctibax, very interesting Pokemon, did recently see a lot of regional play, and I'm excited to try one out as I was trading with a local recently and got a stupidly good one, so I can't wait to build it, even though I have no Stardust. They're going to fire off a Dragon Claw at the Toxapex. We're going to reach the Sludge Wave, but this trainer counted 211 and caught onto their Sableye. Absolutely treacherous stuff for us. They're going to be able to make this Power Gem onto our GUZZLES, but now if they send the Power Gem, they will not make a second move, so we're going to shield that up easily and go for this Dragon Tail farm down. Dragon Tail gets rid of the Sableye for us. We now have 2 Brutal Swings loaded, and it's going to be a Dewgong that comes in. Dewgong is not going to be a very big fan of taking non-debuffed energy. Dugongs love to shield before they get their debuff off. We're going to be able to fire off Brutal Swing number 2, and there goes the shield. We're going to bring in the Greedent, likely just to absorb this energy. We didn't really want to take on our GUZZLES as they had just made the move when we threw our next Brutal Swing. They're going to fire off that Icy Wind. Greedent shrugs it off, no problem, and now we're going for the worst move in the game. Just kidding, but it's Body Slam. It's damn close. Body Slam is going to be reached once again, and we are going to be able to get some actual pressure on this Arctibax, but they're not going to go down quite yet. The frame drops. What is happening? They're going to be able to fire off this move onto our Greedent. It has to be an Avalanche, and it is an Avalanche to KO. In comes the GUZZLES, and GUZZLES still has an insurmountable amount of energy compared to this Dewgong. Dewgong did leave with a move, though. We are going to see the switch into the Toxapex, and here, I really agree with this play to no shield. This move does not KO. Toxapex, absolutely bulk monster, and now we are just going to build up towards our Sludge Wave. We need the Sludge Wave to KO. This is very likely an Icy Wind that we're shielding, but we cannot risk it. Icy Wind plus Ice Shards are getting close to being in a range where we can get KO'd, but we reach the Sludge Wave, and this will be good night to Dewgong. GG's to this trainer. Alright, getting into game 2. Oh! Toxapex into Clefable, the instant switch into the Ursaring. Oh my goodness, dude. These Swifts hit like a cannon, dude. Look at that Swift damage. That's a Toxapex, by the way. Although, Ursaring has lost about 50% of its HP, and it'll be forced to shield up this move. However, we are going to bring in the GUZZLES, looking for that farm down, and now this could be a close combat. Now, generally, I'll see them on Trailblaze, but this one is on close combat. Oh my goodness, they cost the same amount of energy, so that was a very good call. And now, it's going to be the Clefable entering the field once again, but only to be met by a Sludge Bomb that will 2-shot them, so they are going to be forced to throw some energy at us right now. Otherwise, we're 1 off another Sludge Bomb. You better not Swift us. They Swifted us. We were 1 off. But no, we weren't! I lied, and they believed it! We were 2 off, and the second Swift will KO. In comes our Toxapex, immediate switch into the Diggersby. We're going to bring in our Greedent in retaliation, and now they're going to be able to fire off the Scorching Sands, but we know this is only a Scorching Sands and not the Beam. We're going to easily tank that Scorching Sands, not get debuffed. Skillful dodge of the debuff, by the way. We're going to fire off the Trailblaze. Diggersby is going to use their last shield, but they use their last shield on an early Trailblaze. Dude, did you forget Trailblaze raises your attack? The next ones are going to do more damage. The second one smacks the Diggersby, and the third one will guarantee a KO. They're going to fire off a Scorching Sands here, but I believe we have the pacing advantage. They're going to go for the catch onto their Clefable. We bank all the energy for later, bring in the Toxapex, but Toxapex can get a full farm down here and force the Diggersby to throw energy. This is so bad for the Diggersby. We're going to make the brine, so they're going to have to throw. Otherwise, they're getting way too low, firing off the Scorching Sands, but we're coming back in with the Trailblaze on our Greedent loaded. Is this going to be enough to KO? Trailblaze, not quite enough, but we're going to make that Body Slam, and because they threw the energy on the Toxapex, this game is over. GG's. Game number 3 is going to present almost as bad of a lead as a bad lead can get. Toxapex leading into the Ferrothorn. We are going to stay in for a little bit here as we don't have a clean response to the Ferrothorn. This is a big core breaker for the team. We're going to switch into our Greedent, and now we have to kind of just hope that they think we're running Crunch and switch out early. They're going to fire off the Power Whip, but no, they're staying in. Not the best situation for us to be a part of. We're just going to basically use the Greedent as a massive damage sponge and fire off Body Slam after Body Slam, hoping that we can get this Ferrothorn realigned onto our Guzzlord, where it's pretty much the only good matchup. Another frame drop. This game absolutely shambles. Why did we play it? A Body Slam doing no damage onto the Ferrothorn. We're reaching for another Body Slam in fear of getting KO'd by that Bullet Seed down. It's a little ambiguous if we'll live that or not, and we do not. So we fire off the Body Slam on alignment, but it was to get off the move, which is more important. We're going to bring in the Guzzlord now. Ferrothorn nearly KO'd, firing off the Whip, which does telegraph they may also be on Thunder, but we're going to preserve some HP. It's a Flash Cannon. I was wrong, and they're going to go down, get farmed down by the Guzzlord. It's a Gator, and bringing in a Gator to a loaded Guzzlord is not the answer. Brutal Swing is going to get shielded by the Gator, but now we've got another one with this Gator's name on it, and they're getting increasingly low on HP. They're going to let that through, and now, honestly, yeah, I agree with this. We're going to shield this up because we can probably farm down before they make another move. Opponent stays in for the farm down. Oh my goodness, it's Clodsire in the back. And Clodsire going to be met with a Brutal Swing and have a very tough time going for the Poison Sting down here. 3 more Dragon Tails and another Brutal Swing. And now Clodsire in a bit of an awkward situation where it's forced to get rid of this Guzzlord. But in order to do so, it has to use energy. And this energy would be much better used on our Toxapex, but we've got the brine loaded with this Clodsire's name on it, and this is what they were saving the shields for, but it's no use. We're going to be able to reach another brine, and from this range, Toxapex can easily survive an Earthquake. So this Earthquake is going to land, but not do nearly enough to the Toxapex, the battle of the bulk, and Toxapex is reigning supreme right now. Brine, not enough to KO either. It's going to be the resisted poison moves going against one another. Is this another Quake? It all comes down to this. It's the Stone Edge. They bailed, and so they get farmed down. GG's. It's going to be an awkward Pokemon for us to see in the next game. Toxapex leads into the Dunsparce, and Dunsparce, not exactly the most comfortable thing for us to see. The immediate switch into the Greedent, only to be met by a Jumpluff. Now, I will always make fun of the Mudshot rework because so many Pokemon are invalidated by it, but we bring in our Greedent to be met with a Jumpluff, triple resisting the Mudshot fast move pressure, and this is tough. We have no way out of this matchup. We're on Trailblaze and Body Slam, and we're just going to have to fire off Body Slam after Body Slam to try to chip this Jumpluff as much as humanly possible. We now know that they're on Acrobatics, and Acrobatics is still pretty hard hitting even though it's coming from a Jumpluff, which has next to no attack. I've recently lost CMP to a Clodsire with my Jumpluff, so if that ever puts in perspective, if there's any way to put in perspective for you just how low this thing's attack stat is, that's probably the way. Acrobatics gonna land onto our Greedent, picking up the KO, and now this is perfect farm down range for Toxapex to come in and clean up the Jumpluff. They're going to fire off an Energy Ball onto our Toxapex, but that's a-okay by us. Toxapex absorbs that no problem, and we know that there's going to be a Dunsparce waiting for us, so we're going to switch into our Guzzlord, and oh no, it's Azumarill in the back. Azumarill pretty awkward. We would have loved to have switch advantage this game, but we do not. So what are we going to do in order to save this game? Azumarill is going to be able to move. Anything they throw is potentially threatening here. They're going to fire off the Play Rough, which would more than one-shot us there. We're going to be able to build up, to another Sludge Bomb. Are they going to respect this one, or are they going to call a bait? They're going to shield it up. This is going to be another hard-hitting charge move that our Guzzlord would much rather not tank. So Play Rough is going to get shielded there, and we are going to look to build up some energy. Are we going to go for the catch? The dirtiest catch of all time onto the Toxapex may very well keep us in this game competitively. It was looking a little bleak. They're going to bring in the Dunpar, and Dunpar, although it does have the super effective drill run, is going to be fighting an uphill battle here, because that drill run is not going to be doing nearly enough damage to KO, and they're not going to roll out us down. Sludge Wave gets shielded by the Dunpar. Are they going to fire off another move? They do before we're able to reach the brine, and this complicates things. This game is getting very, very close. We have the 2 swings. Is 2 swings going to be enough to do it here? I don't believe so. Oh, the 1 brutal swing, not going to be enough. We're going to overfarm. They bring in the Azu, overfarming as much as humanly possible. Firing off the Sludge Bomb. We need 2 more brutal swings to get rid of the Dunpar. The timer's coming up. Oh no, are we going to be able to make this happen? The drill run lands onto our Guzzlord. 1 more Dragon Tail for good measure, and we're going to fire off the Sludge Bomb before getting farmed down. Is this enough damage? Weak connection. We pick up the KO. GG's. Getting into the next game, this is going to be another battle of the bulk. Toxapex against Mandibuzz. This has got to be the bulkiest season I've ever seen. We have Toxapex, Mandibuzz, Clodsire all at the top of the meta, Diggersby as well. Very, very bulky Pokemon in this meta, so we're going to see these games in this season at high levels are going to honestly take some time if we're running some of these really bulky picks. A little bit of a stutter there. This Mandibuzz is actually on Foul Play as opposed to Dark Pulse. Don't be on Foul Play. Look at the damage of that Foul Play, dude. That is 45 energy to do less than 12 damage to the goddamn Toxapex. Toxapex eats 3 Foul Plays and then switches into the Greedent, looking to catch the Body Slam onto their Skarmory, but it was a little too early. We had too much time to predict that, or react to that rather, and not throw our Body Slam. But at the end of the day, it's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to fire off Body Slam after Body Slam. We have a lot of energy here, but this Skarmory is a problem as it's resisting basically every move on our team except for Brine and Brutal Swing, which are not that easy to get to when going up against this Skarmory. Skarmory finally builds up to a 55 energy charge move. Oh my goodness, Skarmory's so cooked this season. I have no idea what this trainer is doing, but they make a nice catch, catching their Brine onto their Mandibuzz. Definitely seeing the value in that Skarmory, and seeing that it is a problem for us and we need to get rid of it, and they're preserving it by going for that catch. That's a really good play. We're going to fire off a Brine here. They're going to shield up their Skarmory. Definitely have identified that this is a very important Pokemon for their team. And now Skarmory's got a lot of energy. But we're coming in with the Guzzlord though. Guzzlord is coming in. We've got the another move here. We're going to have to shield it up. It's a Sky Attack. But if you're going to switch out, and oh my god, this is so terrible. It's a Bastiodon. Mandibuzz double steal. ABA Flyer. Bro, what is this team? Anyway. They're going to bring in the Bastiodon. This is terrible for our Guzzlord to see. And now they're going to fire off another move here. It's going to be a Stone Edge onto the Guzzlord. Of course, we're going to need at least 2 more Brutal Swings to do the trick here. The question is, are we going to be able to get to 2 Brutal Swings before this Bastiodon is able to make another move? It's going to be close. We go for the catch onto the Greedent. Absolutely massive plays here. They go for the Stone Edge, KOing the Greedent, and now they're going to bring in the Skarmory, but Skarmory, its charge moves are too expensive. What is happening? The timer comes up. Brutal Swing is fired. Oh, man. This is coming down to the wire. They use their shield. Can we make another Brutal Swing at the last? possible second we make the Brutal Swing, and since this KOs, this game is over. GG's to this trainer. We've reached the final game of the video, and it's going to be Toxapex leading into Clodsire. This is a terrible matchup. We are going to immediately switch into the Greedent, and Clodsire is going to stay in here to bank a little bit of energy. They're actually not going to bank it, they're going to actually throw it at the Greedent, and Greedent can shrug this damage off. It's just the Stone Edge, not even bringing us to 50%, so we're fine with taking that damage. And now we've got energy loaded, and in comes the Dunpar. But Dunpar is going to have to deal with Trailblazes galore, and Body Slam after Body Slam, connecting onto the Dunpar. This is going to be a very stubborn matchup of who wants to commit the shield and who does not. They're going to fire off a drill run at the Greedent, not quite enough to KO, and actually we're outside of a range where we can be rollouted down before we're able to make 2 moves that'll KO. So they have a decision to make. They're going to use their energy, a very wise choice, and now they're going to fire off the drill run. We're opting not to preserve switch advantage, which is a little dangerous because they do have that Clodsire potentially aligned onto our Toxapex, and they are going to bring in their third. It is the Licky Licky. Licky Licky on rollout charges very quickly, but this wasn't more than a Body Slam, so we're going to be easily able to no-shield the Body Slam, perhaps telegraphing that they're on Shadow Ball if they're going for the Body Slams immediately. And now another Brutal Swing is going to put pressure on a shield from this Licky Licky, and no, they're not going to shield it up. They're going to bring in the Clodsire instead. Saving 2 shields for your bulkiest Pokemon is definitely one of the choices I've seen so far this season. Brutal Swing grabs the shield from the Clodsire. We grab the shield. It was the CMP tie, but we're actually going to commit the shield because we need this damage on this Clodsire. The fact that they aggressively pivot this in is so good for us, because what else were we going to do? Poison Jab it to death with our Toxapex? Probably not. They let a Brutal Swing go. Knowing our last Pokemon is Pex 2 is a very interesting call. They're going to fire off a move onto the Guzzlord here, and it's a Quake. They full sent the Quake? What is that? Our Guzzlord has like 2 HP, dude. Nevertheless, a Brutal Swing connects onto the Licky Licky, but they let the Clodsire get too low, and that's going to be a good game. GG's to this trainer. If you made it to this point in the video, thanks so much for watching. It really means a lot to me, and Potato, thank you as well. I very much apologize for making you wait 2 weeks for this submission to be uploaded, but they rotated Great League out of rotation for 2 weeks. Somebody get John Hankey on the line and ask him what he's cooking, because I don't think it tastes very good. Nevertheless, if you don't have a Guzzlord, I'd strongly recommend trying to get one. It can be traded down from a level 20, which is the one that you get from the raid that isn't weather boosted if you don't have a research floor one, and it is very formidable now. I used to think it was very clunky, but with Brutal Swing and Sludge Bomb as its moves, and Brutal Swing being a better charge move than Dragon Claw currently, I honestly strongly recommend that you try to get this added to your Great League repertoire. Nevertheless, thanks again so much for watching. This has been Shmeaty. I hope to see you guys again next time, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.